My name is Kwame Aopoko. I'm originally Ghanaian, as Neo said. My day job is actually speaking. I travel the world to speak. I've done that in the last 14 years, done it across maybe 6 continents, about 30 plus countries. And basically, I travel the world telling people how we can use technology to create sustainable solutions for our world and for the biggest problems that we have. During that time, a few awards here and there, but that's not why we're here. Let's skip to the main reason why we're actually here. These are some of the works that I've done in the past. These are some of the conferences that I've done. Again, I really believe in the power of ideas and knowledge to be able to transform civilizations and to be able to empower people to be able to do more. And that's the reason why I actually chose public speaking as a vehicle to be able to convey some level of impact. Now, in crypto, however, I have been here for a while and I want to share my crypto journey with you, and specifically what we're doing at Magnate University, specifically on the side that I oversee things, which is actually the crypto side of things. On the left side of your screen, that's myself with the creator of Twitter. He sold it to Elon Musk for 44 billion. Elon Musk now calls it X. So on the left side is Jack Dorsey, who is the original creator of Twitter. On the right side, with the guy that looks like a piece of code, is the guy that created the second biggest currency in the world, Ethereum. His name is Vitalik Buterin. Hosted him in Ghana. I consult for the Ethereum Foundation for all the stuff that they do in Africa in terms of granting funds and access to developmental tools for developers in Africa who are building on the blockchain. So just to sort of give you a bit of my background and my CV so you know who you're dealing with, but I would always encourage you to go do a bit of due diligence. Even if you trust Neo, one of the things I'm going to say to you in today's world, especially with AI, where people are able to create make believe videos and all of that, you want to be as paranoid as possible when you're dealing with things online. So I encourage you to do some extra Google search and find out still who this person is. Now, what I want to do first is to give a disclaimer. If Neo hasn't said it, at Magnate University, we want you to understand that we do not necessarily have, as at least for the crypto side, we do not have any financial licenses to give financial advice. All right. What we offer is education. What we offer is information. What we offer is knowledge that is helping us create wealth for ourselves and for our friends and for our family. And we're extending that to a greater audience. And that's basically what we are doing. So, not financial advice. Everything I present from here on is going to be for educational and for informational purposes. My crypto life began about 10 years ago, specifically on Monday, February 3rd, 2014 at 6:20 p.m. exactly on the dot. If you were in crypto 14 years ago, give me a 000 in the chats. If you were in crypto 14 years ago, 10 years ago, in 2014, in 2024. So 10 years ago, if you knew or you were actively in crypto, give me 000. Okay, I'm not seeing anything in the chats. That means a lot of us came into crypto a little bit later on. So I've been here for the last 10 years. I was here when the only exchange we had was something called blockchain.com. Actually, this is what it looked like. Let me show you. This is what the first exchange is. Actually, the first exchange, this is what it looked like. It was called blockchain.com. The major currencies were Bitcoin, Ethereum. I think that those were the major ones. It wasn't, you couldn't even call it an industry. It was very, very hard to be able to move money up and down. This is what our wallets used to look like. And I was here in those early days. I was here when Bitcoin was just $4,000. I was here when Bitcoin was 3,000. $400. I actually saw Bitcoin at $1,918. Now, a lot of us have seen Bitcoin climb all the way up to 70 something thousand dollars. And we wish that we saw it when it was, back in the day. I promise you, if you saw Bitcoin when it was around $2,000, you would not have bought it. I can say now, when you look at hindsight, a lot of you go, no, I would have sold my kidneys and I would have bought Bitcoin. Trust me, it didn't look very good 10 years ago. And that's the nature of breakthrough technologies and innovation. In technology, there's something, let me digress a bit and give a bit of information. We're learning. Even if you never join Magnate University, I always want to make sure the time I spend with people is very valuable. Now, in technology and in innovation, we have something called the Gartner hype cycle. The Gartner hype cycle is a graph, is a plot of how people actually use technologies when it launches very new and very fresh. So very often what happens in the Gartner hype cycle is we have early adopters or early users who jump on a platform that is widely unknown, widely speculative, and they dive in deep and take all of the risk. And then we have something that happens right after that is we now move into what we call mass adoption, and then we go into euphoria where everybody starts jumping in and everybody's going crazy about that technology. And then we normally almost always have what we call a bubble bust. So everything goes down, all of the euphoria sort of dies out, and then eventually the real gems of that industry will emerge, and then they will be sustained. If you look at computing technology, that's what happened in the early days of the internet, in the early days of computing, when you had Intel, when you had Microsoft, Panasonic, Samsung, all of those people jumped into the computing space. But if you look down now, about 25 years down the road, you can see that it's only the real guys who were left. So you can see Microsoft is still in the game, Intel is still in the game, but most of the other players have moved around. And you're able to track that with something called a Gartner hype cycle. And what I'm saying to you to this point is not to bore you with too much information, but to say in the early days, 10 years ago, Bitcoin didn't look that good. But now we have an opportunity to look at things very, very differently. I have stayed an evangelist for cryptocurrencies for a while. All right, this is back in 2018, about 6 years ago. Some of these posts are still online. I cannot fake this. You can go on my Instagram, scroll all the way down to 2018, and you will see some of these posts are there for you to actually have a look at. I was telling people about the rise of decentralized digital currency, which is crypto, the Bitcoin ATMs, drone ATMs, digital only banks. I remember at that time, I actually put together a document, The End of Banking, and sent it out to over 120 banks in Ghana, and nobody paid attention until COVID hit and they realized that they were not well equipped for the transformation that was actually happening. So I've been preaching this for a very, very long time. Now, before we go on, maybe screenshot this for your own investment considerations for the rest of your life. This is something I have learned. I have a bit of investments in physical assets. I have a bit of investments in agriculture, in farmlands, and all of that. I've doubled a little bit into real estate, and I'm very, very big on cryptocurrencies. And these 5 investment considerations have always helped me. Number 1, don't invest more than you're willing to lose. Number 2, go risk-free as soon as possible. Number 3, nothing is guaranteed in investment. Number 4, diversify your portfolios. And number 5, understand windows of opportunities. These will greatly help you. These 5 investment considerations will greatly, greatly help you. All right. So I wanted to, again, give you some value before we actually go into the real thing. So why did Neo get so impressed with the work that I was doing that he decided we should partner as wealth creation enablers for other people to be able to utilize that which we had? Well, here is my track record from back in 2021. This is an exchange called KuCoin. If you know KuCoin, can I get a 555 in the chats? If you know KuCoin as an exchange, give me a 555 in the chats so that everybody knows I'm not making this up. We don't have any reason to be diabolic in our presentations. Of the top 10 performing assets on KuCoin, the entire exchange had more than 20,000 crypto assets on there. Of that 20,000, the top 10 performing coins in 2021, I was able to, by research, by diligent research, and what I believe is the grace of God that sponsors my life, I was able to find 4 out of those top performing 10, which means out of the top 10 performing coins, I was able to secure 4 out of those. And out of that, you can see that the biggest coin that I picked did 7,240%. And I want you to breathe on that for a moment, because that's not realistic in any other industry in the world. 7,000. This is real-time data I'm showing you. You can check these things for yourself. Check out the crypto assets. Check out how it started in 2021, and then check out how it finished in 2021. So 7,240% is 72 times your money. What it means is that if you were with us in 2021 and you put $1,000 in this particular project here, you would have done $72,400. Again, data that you can verify. VRE was the second project. It did 7,109%. That's 71x if you come all the way down. KCS did 2,800%. And then DAG did 1,600%. If you put all of that together, you are looking at approximately about 18,000%. That's about 180x. So if we were doing Magnate University in 2021 and you had $1,000, we're looking at you coming out of these 4 projects of somewhere south of about $180,000. Now, if you look at my track record on Binance, this is 2022. I was busily trading NFTs. I had been trading. If you look at my record here, I was trading. I had traded 1,752 times, which means averagely on the daily, I was placing about 3 to 5 trades. This is what I do. This is exactly who I am. And that's the reason. Now, this again is not to flex. These are my cumulative numbers in 2022 on Binance only. I hit a cumulative volume of about $3.8 million of monies that I moved in and out of projects, profits that I took, and all of that. So when I sit here and I talk about crypto, I'm not talking about things I've read on a book. I'm not talking about, everything I have, the home that I'm living in right now, the cars that are parked outside. All of that was sponsored by God opening this door for me to fully understand this market and to be able to do what it is that I do. Now, when we move from here, this is 2023. We were in what you would call a bear market. The markets were not very good in 2023. But here is to say to you, even when the bull market is over and you are in Magnate University, there are ways that we can still eat. There is no day that we'll go hungry as far as we have the knowledge, as far as we have the education and the understanding of the market. So in 2023, when everything was bad, I still clocked in about $500,000 in a terrible bear market. All right. Now, this you can go on X right now. Neo is here. He's seen it. Tembi has seen it. Those who are already in Magnate University, you go on X right now and you start scrolling from late or early this year, March, all the way down. You will see all of this for yourself. These were free calls. This is not even for those who are in Magnate. These were things I gave to the public for free. And these were the returns. Solana was a project that turned out 97x. Your $1,000 would have been $97,000. Zena was a 10x call. Your 1,000 would have been 10,000. Polana was a 7x call. Renda was a 16x call. CCC was an 11x call. You can go on X right now. You see when I called the project, what was the price at the time I called it, and when it started moving up, what did it mean? So this is the track record with which we're working with. Now, let me pause here and not begin to sound like somebody who's selling a Ponzi scheme, because we don't always win. We lose our fair share. My track record, and I give all the thanks and glory to God, is when we take 10 trades, we're looking at a turnover of 7 out of those 10 trades going well. So, of course, on this call, I will show you the wins, but that doesn't mean we do not lose. And that's why Neo warned you, if you're looking at a get-rich-quick scheme, if you're looking at winning always, which is impossible, anybody who sells to you, we can win always, be very, very careful and cautious of those people. We do lose. We do get projects that don't do the way we expect, but that's the reason why we have the kind of investment construct and understanding of the market that we have, so that you are well diversified. And 7 out of 10 projects, if you look at my track record over the last 10 years, does well. So please be aware of that. So here are some of the numbers. Here are some of the feedback that we get from people. Somebody sent me a message and said, thank you for calling this. I entered with $156 and I've made 413, and this was in just about 72 hours. On March 27, this was 20x for our inner circle, which is what we're building now with Magnate University. That's $1,000 to $20,000. Again, this is to show you what's possible. This is to show you what we are presenting as opportunities for you. And so as I wrap up more and more of these examples, if you look up here, that's a whooping 35x. This took just about 48 hours and we were able to see this. The market was in a bit of euphoria. Things were moving up very, very fast. My greatest skill is that I live in these markets. I breathe these markets. A lot of us are going to do this crypto thing as a side thing. A lot of us will do it because of our engagement with work. We'll need to do it part-time. My full-time job is this market. I spend 6 to 8 hours a day looking at these markets. That's the reason why I'm able to produce this kind of results. And I don't play at the bottom. I play in the value chain up there, where you sort of, through networks, through understanding of the dynamics of the market indicators, technical indicators, you are able to see what is going on. So that's basically what we offer in Magnate. In Magnate, I would be the guy that is holding your hand. I'll be the guy that is sharing 10 years of my experiences, my wins, my losses, the necessary education, the foundations. How do the markets work? How does a project go up? How does a project go down? How do you know when to buy a project and when to sell? How do you know how to buy a project and how to sell? So we have the education, and then we do the research. The team puts the research together. We give you the projects. This is what we're buying. This is when we're buying. This is when we're selling. This is our profit target. This is our risk mitigation factors. And here is how we're going to come together as a community to win together. The next 6 to 12 months of our lives would probably be the single biggest wealth creation and wealth transfer opportunity ever. If you miss it, posterity might judge you for it. So I'm happy to be a servant here. I'm happy to be able to work with Neo. I'm happy that you even took time and spend your evening with me. Thank you so much for having me. I'll hand it over back to Neo, and I can't wait to see you in Magnate. Cheers, everyone. My name is Kwame. Everybody have an amazing evening. Shalom.